Alright guys, it's Brandon from Team Ragnarok here, bringing you a deck profile. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Tom. I was there.
Try and carry on.
I topped 8 at Milton Keynes shop challenge this weekend or last weekend. Just been with Kagero, and yeah, we can start with the deck list. Start off with the grade 3s because I feel like that's more important. We played 4 Dragonic Blade Master, the whole point of the deck. With this card, I find it's very crucial to go second. This is your second grade 3 ride. Obviously, you get the skill off, and when you use the skill, you Soul Blast 1 grade 1.
That's helpful. Discard
2 cards. You've got to have Wyvern Strike Doha and the other grade 1.
25.
You retire your opponent's board and you gain a vision token, which I'll just show the card here, and it gains Twin Drive with the effect. And then if your opponent has no rear guards, you gain it gains +5k and extra critical. It's really important, this card, especially with the matchups I had during the event. When I rode into this normally ended it. If not, it would be my other grade 3 that ended it. This applies a lot of pressure into the game because I was playing Force 2, and I think that's what helped me reach top 8 with this. Onto the other grade 3, I play 4 Dragonic Waterfall. This card again, same with Blade Master. It's a really nice card. When placed, you retire a grade 2 or greater, just a nice spot removal, and then when it attacks, you Soul Blast grade 3. You give it 10k critical, and you cannot guard your opponent can't guard with Sentinels. Like with Blade Master, it applies a lot of pressure to your opponent if they can't deal with it, especially with Force 2 as well. Like, it's crucial for them if they need to take. It's sort of like a force into it, or just guard it and just hope that I don't do anything else. And when it comes to riding, I found during the day that this was also good going first or second. Is the best thing about Waterfall. You can ride it first or second, and it still can be quite crucial in like getting rid of like problematic grade 2s and just applying that extra bit of pressure when you ride into it. And then into the last grade 3, I played 9 grade 3s and 1 Shine Dragon. Reason why I play this is it searches Blade Master, and then if you Soul Blast 1, look at top 7 for a Blade Master. If you hit 1, he gains +5. He's in the deck just as a emergency backup searcher, just in case you don't see your Blade Master and you really need to see it, because there's also a rearguard skill as well. So then it doesn't matter where you play, you can always hope to see if you can hit your Blade Masters. On to grade 2s. We play 4 Wyvern Strike Doha. Crucial card with Blade Master, helps Blade Master get skill off. When placed from hand, you counter blast 1 and look through your deck to search for this, which helps you activate Blade Master's skill. It's a really nice card, especially in a column, because it applies that pressure with Doha, or if Doha's boosted with this, and your opponent has no rear guards, with Doha they can't go with normal units, so it makes them hard because they have to drop triggers to guard, like essentially 22, so it thins out their hand a lot more than seeing another grade 2, like getting rid of like stuff they don't need in the hand, like triggers can be helpful. On to the other one, we play 3 Berserk. So this now with the event, I would have liked to play the 4th one, but unfortunately I didn't have access to them at the point in time. On place with Vanguard Rearguard, you counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. You choose one of your opponent's rearguard to retire it, and if he's on Vanguard, you draw a card. Really nice card. I like this card a lot, especially with the case of riding it on Vanguard. You get that extra one, and it also applies some sort of pressure if you don't have Doha on your waterfall, because with Doha he's only 9, where Berserk's 10, and if you have more rearguards than your opponent, he gains +3, and most of the time with Kagero you will see that often. On to the other grade 2, we play 2 Nahalem. The Harlem skill is, when placed canvas 1, choose one of your opponent's rearguards in the back row, retire it, and he gains +5k. When I find going first, especially with Kagero, if I had this in Berserk in hand, I always used to ride Berserk, use the skill, or if he only had one rearguard, use this, burn a back row, and just apply that extra bit of pressure, which was shit. If I had to drop a card for Berserk, it would be dropping one of this down to 1, and putting the extra Berserk in, and bumping the next card up to 3 off. And the last card for the grade 2s is 2 Embodiment of Shield Alarm. This card is just 10k vanilla with 10k shield, but it honestly saved me a couple of times at Milton Keynes. Just as a case of like emergencies, this just saved my ass like a couple of times, which is really nice to have. It's nice that backup where it just like, you need 10k but you don't want to burn a trigger, you just drop this, and it's just really helpful in the deck. So yeah, like I said with Berserk, I would drop Nahalem out altogether and play 3 Lam and 3 Berserk Dragon. Unfortunately I didn't have the 3rd Lam for me at the event, unfortunately. Onto the grade 1s. We play 4 Flame of Hope Almo. Really crucial card in this deck. During the battle that is boosted, gains +3, so it's an 11k booster. Really helpful for hitting those big numbers on your opponent when they have a small amount of hand to work with. And when your opponent rearguard is retired, you can retire this card, draw a card and countercharge. Really helpful for if you've gone in and you haven't finished your opponent off and you need that one counterblast, but you have room to retire something. This comes in handy, and it did help during Milton Keynes. Yeah, that's one. We play 2 Sable Dragon Newt. Would have really liked this at 4 during the day, but like with Berserk, I didn't have them on hand at the point in time, which really sucks because I really like this card in the deck. On Vanguard, when he hits, you draw a card, and when your opponent's rearguard is retired, you retire him and draw. So dealing with the problem sometimes Kagero has with not having the big enough hand, he just can be really useful in drawing into it, and also just a solid first ride if you're going second, because when I rode into this, most of the time it's rather I knocked a card out of my opponent's hand or I got an extra card in my hand. So yeah, that's them. Next up we play 4 Wiving Strike Garen. Garen helps with Dragonic Blade Master because you need him for the skill. His skill is during your opponent's turn. If you have no rearguards, he gains +5. So making Doha and Garen the 22k column, and your opponent can't go with normal units, so it helps them thin your hand, which is really nice. And when the boosted attack of Doha hits, you can counterblast 1, draw a card and sword charge. Like with Sable Newt and Arlo, really useful for dealing with Kagero's problem of having a hand size. When this saved me a couple of times during Milton Keynes as well, so I was very fortunate. And just as an all-round, just good card for the deck. And for the final grade 1s, I played 3 Lizard Soldier Ropia. when his skill is when your opponent's rear guard is retired during your turn, this unit gains plus 5k power. This is really good when it came to going into Blade Master. There was a couple of games where my opponent had a full board. I rerode into Blade Master using this skill and nuking their board, and him gaining 25k power because due to the terms of the skill, the power does stack. So he becomes a 33k booster. So it just applies that extra bit of pressure on your opponent to rather drop cards out of their hand, drop a PG, or take the damage. So it's really useful, really helpful card. Yeah, and then onto the triggers. I played 6 crit, 6 draw, and 4 heal. The reason why I play 6/6 is with Kagero, like I've been saying throughout the video, Kagero can struggle with a hand size, so the extra 2 draw triggers are there to kind of stabilise that and make sure that you have a nice hand size to deal with big attacks coming in from other players. I had no problems with the trigger lineup during my matchups. I was quite balanced. I didn't see any problems with it. I wouldn't change the trigger lineup with this deck through playing it unless something came up where probably the deck would become more aggro. Like if you wanted to build a more aggro build, then yeah, I would bump it up to 8 crit. But you're going to have problems with hand if you can't pop off your other skills like your Sable Newts and your Arlows.
Okay, so thanks for that. Do you mind running us through your matchups and how the event went for you?
Yeah, the event went really well. I was happy with my result, very happy. Game 1, I played Angel Feather. One of the hard matchups I'm actually surprised with during the day. Like really good, nice players. It was a problem because obviously with Angel Feather you just heal, and it's just a bit of like, can be a bit of a problem when you're trying to aggro them down, but I managed to aggro them down and go into that. Game 2 I won against Melody. I luckily managed to beat that. I just managed to out aggro him with Waterfall because on his last drive check he drive checked double draw trigger PGs. So it kind of alleviated the room to ride into Waterfall and then just have a full board of Force 2s and just swing with Waterfall. Game 3 was Near Nectar. Near Nectar, the game was a bit of a stretch. It was a case of we went back and forth until on my last turn I just top decked Waterfall, rode into it. And I had a Llama Naropia back row, so luckily I had enough power to get over it and manage it. Game 4 I had, trying to think, I think I had Shadow. Yeah, I had Shadow Paladin. Shadow Paladin was, not to be this person, was one of the easier games. Even though the guy actually went to top 4. It was the easier game for me throughout the day. Just dealing with his Blaster Blades, just getting rid of him.
Blaster
Dark, I do apologise. Dealt with him, I think he only saw 2 of them and I just hit both of them and he had no way of bringing them out. And then I just used that against him and managed to get the win in that. And then game 5 I had... sorry guys, I'm trying to think of the games. I think I had... so this is horrible, I do apologise. What was game 5?
Okay, no, that's fine. So
yeah, sorry guys.
So
and then,
I know for Swish you went 5-0.
Yes.
So congratulations for that.
Thank you.
How was your top 8 match?
Top 8 was unfortunate. I ran into a good friend of mine, Leo's. Fortunate with the game, when it came to it, I saw no Dohas and he was playing what's his name?
Riviere.
Riviere, and the aggro was just too strong and I couldn't deal with it. And the guy, he's behind the camera now, smiling and laughing. So yeah, it was a good game. It was a problem. And that's another thing with this deck. If you don't see your combo, if you don't see your Dohas, it can really hinder you and really make you struggle with the game.
Okay, so I know you said you wouldn't change the trigger lineup, and you were taking the Harlems out for another another Berserk and Vanilla. Is there anything else you think you'd want to change or mess around with?
Yeah, so I would, with the Sable Notes, I would drop Ropia to 2. When it came to the game, I saw no issues with Ropia. Like I always saw it, so I always saw it in multiples. So it's fine to see. And then for the fourth Sable Note, I would drop Shine down and play 8 grade 3s. Okay. Yeah, that's what I would change.
Okay. So finally, have you got any shout outs for the event or anyone?
Yes, I would like to thank Luca's parents and Luca in general for taking me there and bringing me back home, which was very nice of them, and I do thank them for it. I thank Leo for knocking me out of top 8. But no, it's a fair point. He just played the better game. And I'd like to thank you guys for allowing me to record for use and
okay,
showing
thank
off
you.
the deck.
No worries, thank you. Alright, we'll see you later, guys.
Cheers, guys. Bye.